Let's learn IIB. Today, I will show you the Skype conversation that I had with a subscriber of mine. He needed help in troubleshooting an error in his message flow. He is new to IIB, so I realize many of my subscribers too are new to IIB. Watch the video and type in comments what improvements can be given as advice to the person in the video. Constructive criticism only, please. Such as learn the keyboard shortcuts F6, F7, F8 to quickly navigate through the code, or don't use cardinality, use for loop instead. Skype session starts now. You get a bonus clip at the end of the video. Keep watching.
See it now.
Yeah, now I can see.
Yeah, so this is my flow.
Mm-hmm.
Here in the input file node, I have mentioned the directory name and the file, input file, and
Mm-hmm.
show you my input file as well. This is my, so here I have put the input file. This is the
Okay.
uh, this is my input file. This is a CSV text that I'm sending.
Okay.
Okay, now uh, now from the CSV, this try catch is for the exception handling I've made. This first in
All
this
right.
first in this first compute node, what I'm doing is like I am storing the all the input data into the environment field, as you can see here. Like
Okay.
for from the input DFDL, I've created a DFDL for CSV for that CSV, and from that DFDL, I'm storing all the input to the environment variable environment.in file.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. From the rest of the part is for like logging the table, so don't mind that. Only this much part, like from here to here. I have the this is the main task of this compute node that it is storing the all the input from file input node to the environment variable.
Okay.
Okay. Then in the third node, there is file read node. From this node, I am taking my XML input node, XML, that employee information from where I have to retrieve the data. I've mentioned all the like XML parser as well as the directory and the file name here. In the final this node, I have mentioned my main whole logic for retrieving the data. So you
Okay.
can see here, like I've declared this. I have used we use two loops for checking the like I have for checking one employee ID throughout the whole XML file. So I have declared a
Mm-hmm.
logic for that. I declared I and J, and
Mm-hmm.
here is the logic. Sorry, wait. Here I have declared the cardinality for input count, that is how many input like records are there, and then how many employee information is there. So in my case,
Mm-hmm.
it's like the input count is 2, as I'm sending only two input as a data employee ID, and
Mm-hmm.
for employee count, I have like 10 records for 10 different employees with different fields. So what I have to do with the by taking that employee ID, I have to search throughout my whole XML file and find the like match data. And while if it is matched, then I have to like put that into my output file. So while doing it, it is like working totally fine for me. Like it is iterating, it is checking, everything is working fine. Like here I
Mm-hmm.
have to you can see, like sorry, you can see here I have like put this while loop for first for iterating the input nodes, and then this J for iterating the XML input, XML all 10 inputs for that. And I am storing
Mm-hmm.
here, you can uh, and the thing is, since I have to store the output as a delimited text as a pipeline, so I have created a DFDL for that as well. Here it is, like I have created a library, and library I have created my DFDL for the output part, like how I
Mm-hmm.
want the output to be created. So wait, yeah, so here it is, I have created a header for it also, and the body for it also, as the output I want.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And okay, then wait. So For that output, I have like set this thing, set output properties dot message set, so that I can call that this DFDL file which I've created for output in the in my like in my compute node. This is what I've learned from online. Like I've seen a video where he was explaining how can you like call if you want to create a delimiter or record oriented text in your output. So this is the way you can actually do it. So I like
Mhm.
learned from him and I did it this way. I'm hoping this is right way because I'm confused at this part only because everything is working fine, but at last when the whole flow completes, there is no exception, but I don't see
Mhm.
any data to be in my output file.
That's a lot of information that you just shared.
Okay,
When
I
you
know.
type things into Skype, it does not make much sense. But when you show me pictures, when you show me on screen, then I
Yeah,
can make some
I
logic
was
out of it.
I was about to show give you my screenshots, but you told me like you can call me, so I thought it's okay. If you're calling, then I'll share you my screen.
So, go back to the message flow. Let me
Uh,
just repeat whatever you said and see if
yeah,
I've understood properly. So you
okay,
have an input file
yeah,
XML. It contains employee records.
yeah, in the CSV format.
Yeah. And there's another file in XML format which contains
Yeah,
employee details.
yeah,
Let's consider employee ID number or employee name is available in the CSV, and matching with that employee ID, there's an employee title or
yeah,
employee address, something in the XML.
yeah, yeah.
So you have to use both these details and create an output file.
Yes,
So that's your goal. And using the nodes, you have acquired the data. The CSV
yeah,
data has been acquired,
yeah,
and XML data has been acquired, and you're
yes,
using a loop to iterate over it. That's all going through fine. And
yeah, yeah,
finally, when you create the output, for some
yeah,
reason, the output is not getting written into that folder.
yes, yes. That's the problem.
Am I right? Is the
Yeah,
output
yeah.
not getting written into the folder, or is it creating empty files?
Empty file. The output is file is created, but there is no record in it. But
Okay.
the thing is, when I did it with the same, when I put the XML as a domain instead of using the DFDL,
Mhm.
I was actually retrieving all the data in the output file, and it was writing also in the output file. But as I'm using this DFDL as an output schema, so it is not working for that.
Okay. Then we'll have to check if you have set the DFTL values properly. If the
Okay.
DFTL structures that you have defined in
Okay.
.xsg file matches with the DFTL structure that you have defined in your eSQL file.
Okay.
So how do we do it? Open eSQL file and DFTL file side by side.
Mhm. This is my this is SQL file and
When you double
this.
click on the XSD, you can drag that tab towards your right, and it will open in multiple windows.
Mhm.
Click, drag towards your left. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, and
Now go to the
then
eSQL, go to the DFTL section. So you have given the first value that you have given, that is output router properties dot message set, points to
yeah,
the project, the shared library project. So that's proper. Next section that you write, message type, points to the name of the message. So that's uh, the flower bracket indicates the schema name, schema colon, the type, which is employee. Now let's see the type in the XSD, adjust the window size. So here it
okay,
says employee, that's fine. Okay, let's scroll down in your eSQL. So within eSQL, I want to see what's the where you're setting the output root.dftl, that section.
this is the part.
Outref, there's something called as outref. So who has declared
Outref,
outref? Where is that outref?
yeah, yeah, here it is. I've created a last child, then
Why
declared
is
an
it in
output.
green?
Before receiving that, I was had
Press Control
commented this
Shift F.
part. Okay.
Press Control Shift F. Save it. Control S. So Control Shift F formats your SQL code, and the green that you saw because of comment has now auto-corrected itself.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
outref points to output root.dftl on right. Scroll down. And then you set employee
This
dot
whole
body.
part, yeah. Employee dot
So
body as a
minimize the XSD such that the header is minimized and I can see the body. Minimize header, body. All right. And within body you have that's unbounded with date and other values.
yes.
All right. Scroll down. In SQL. Scroll down. Scroll
This is
down.
the end.
Okay. And finally it returns true. Now go to your message flow. You can close the XSD file. Click on the X mark next to the XSD. That will close.
Yeah. Close.
Start the debug mode and trigger your message flow.
Okay.
Deploy debug mode and trigger. Next. Next. Does it take a lot of time to go through the iterations?
It it will take little times. That's the only reason I have put only 2 records. Otherwise, I had 10 records to iterate through. So
Okay.
let's wait.
So we know that the values are getting populated. Now stop and expand output root.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the thing. In DFDL, as an employee in body, you can see all the data has been stored, whatever data about to store. Yeah, it's everything stored. And if I go further for the second iteration, also for second employee ID, it will do it again also.
Now expand message output root, message and DFTL. Click on DFTL. Okay, still has those employees. All
Yeah.
right. And go towards the terminal. That's the file terminal.
Step over.
No, not the step over. It's okay. Okay, continue. Let's see what happens. Let's see what the error is. Now see what the error is. Click on exception list.
Showing a parsing error.
Go to the insert statements. So it is telling you there's some problem with the message that you have created. You can go click on the XSD schema. What does it say? The sequence is not valid. Not like this. In debug mode, when you went to the exception list, it was telling you about some field. Go find out what's the field name, and then we'll compare it with employee body 1, and then what was it saying?
This one?
Yeah. What does the full text read as? Min occurs is 1, and what is it saying? Header type 0. Okay, it is saying that you'll have to have at least one header. So change that property to 0. in your XSD, you have set the minimum occurrence for the header to be 1. Change that
Okay.
number to 0 and then continue with your debug process. Yeah. Save, deploy, test again. So before you use deploy, you will have to finish your debugging mode.
Okay. And one more thing is there, like if I want the headers also to be as a part of our output in my output, do I have to do something like a code for that also, or it will automatically take all the headers?
If you don't write code, it cannot do anything automatically. You'll have to write
The
it in eSQL and it will process.
I was facing the problem for that also. Can you tell me like how can I access all the headers from this XSD?
We'll fix this problem first and then we'll go to header.
Okay, fine, fine.
So finish your debug and then deploy your code.
Wait. Should I like close it or like terminate?
No, when you click on the play button, the green F8, the resume button,
Okay.
the debug will finish as it goes through the next few nodes. Yeah, once more, F8. Yeah, once more, once more. Now it's terminated. The thread has terminated processing. Now you can go to IIB development mode and then deploy your flow once again.
Shall I like put the input files and everything back again because they might have like been processed?
First deploy, then put the file back in. What's the song playing in the background? It's a Hindi song, a
Yeah,
famous one.
it's actually my brother. He was listening to the song.
No, no, I'm trying to recall the name. What is the name for of that song?
It's like a I love you something song is there.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't heard that song for about 5 to 10 years, maybe. Oldie.
Yeah, today like the meme pages they always like put these songs, right? So you'll always
Gain an error. Okay, we'll go to the exception list and see what it has to say. Continue. So in errors, you will get two kinds of errors. One in Java stack and the other one in eSQL stack.
okay.
It's always to your benefit if you see the errors in exception list, let's say eSQL stack.
Okay.
You will not get meaningful information from Java stack.
This is like a reference library. Like, do I have to like deploy it again?
No.
Right?
Okay. Deploy it. Yeah, deploy it.
Yeah, no? That's what I thought. Like,
Yeah. It's independent of the application. So when you deploy your application, maybe it's not getting deployed. Before you deploy it, before you delete it, click on the properties,
okay.
run in background, then click on DFTL file. Don't delete it. Don't delete it.
Okay.
Don't delete it. Cancel. Click on the properties tab. Yes. And click on the DFTL library. No, not there. In the deployed location, execution group, integration server.
Okay.
In the integration server, click on the DFTL. Now, what do you see? What was the last time when it was deployed? It's 6 o'clock, 14 minutes, or 1 o'clock, 18 minutes. So
Okay.
what's happening is we are making changes to the XSD, but the changes are not getting deployed to the integration server.
Okay.
DFTL you have created in something called as a shared library. Shared library
Yeah.
is a project which can be used by multiple applications. So you cannot deploy a shared library if some project within the integration server is referencing it.
Okay.
You'll have to first remove the reference by deleting the parent project, which is of type application, and then you can delete the child project, which is of type shared library.
Okay. So mostly should I go for this static library in most of the cases?
There's some difference between static and shared.
Yeah.
In case of a static library, you will compile the static contents into your application. So when you deploy an application, the static libraries that it references gets compiled into the bar file.
Okay.
If you use a shared library, it does not get compiled into the bar file. You will have to deploy it independently, like what you're doing now.
Okay.
Continue. What's it saying? Employee type, hero, model, schema element, body element, sequence, date, because of type, mismatch. So you set a string value to a type which has a date value in it.
I put actually date time if I remember it again.
XSD date is not compatible with something. So it is telling you that what you have defined in the XSD is not matching with the value that you have set in ESQL. So
Maybe in
see
the
what you have set in ESQL. No, ignore the header part. Go to
the EC
yes,
like
and
current timestamp date.
within ESQL, see what you have set.
I've set date, I guess, like current timestamp date. This current date, sorry.
So it's not a date time, it's only a date. So go to XSD and change it from date time to just date. All right. Think of any other mismatches that you might have done, and then deploy and test again.
It is taking too long. If you have work, like you can like take a leave. I'll do. I have understood like what kind of mistake I
The
would be
process to
doing.
be followed.
Yeah, yeah. I'll like continue my process. You like take a rest. Thank you.
All right. So
Okay.
that's exception. Just always refer to that tree structure,
Yeah.
and it will guide you to the next steps.
The doubt about the header part, I am still like confused about it. So shall I call you again sometime when you're free?
We'll catch up on a ping me, and we will continue the call some other time.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
All right. Take care.
Thank you. Yeah.